If tomatoes have been a struggle for you and you're ready to give up, good news. There's a decent chance it wasn't your soil, it wasn't your fertilizer, it wasn't that you just can't grow tomatoes. A lot of people are out here trying to grow the wrong tomato for their climate, and that is one of the fastest ways to feel like you're failing, even when really you just picked a variety that was never meant for your summer. Today, I'm going to fix that. In this video, I'm going to show you how to figure out what climate bucket you're actually in. And then I'll give you the safest tomato varieties for that bucket. Not a list of 50 names that you'll forget, but like the ones that actually work. But here's the twist. USDA zones don't tell the whole story with tomatoes. Two people can both be in zone 8, and one is drowning in tomatoes and the other gets blossoms and no fruit. So we're doing this by summer reality, not just by zone. All right, this is the biggest upgrade from a video that I did last week. Is that last week or 2 weeks ago? Anyway, people kept asking, okay, Brian, but what bucket am I even in? And what do you recommend for where I live specifically? So here's the simplest way to do it. Pick the one bucket that sounds like your life. So let's go through them. Hot and humid. Sticky summers, lots of disease pressure. You know where you are probably. And then another one is hot and dry. Desert heat, inland valleys, sun scald and cracking are real. This describes my bucket, but as hot as it is during the day, it does cool off quite a bit at night. And in the next bucket, it doesn't. You have hot days and hot nights. It doesn't cool off. What you're gonna see in this bucket is blossoms that drop off before they get pollinated. The next bucket is you've got a short season. You're really against a time clock. Frost comes early and you have to pump out some tomatoes before it gets here. The next bucket is where I used to live. You got cool, coastal, foggy summers. Seattle, Oregon coast, Bay Area fog. In those areas, tomatoes take forever. And then another bucket is for container growers and small space patios, balconies, anybody that grows in a compact area. So with those buckets, pick the one that sounds like your area. Once you know your bucket, this gets easy. And for every bucket, I'm going to give you one slicer, one paste tomato, and one cherry, because cherries are always the insurance tomato. And then I'm also going to give you a bonus pick per bucket. Also, quick note, if you want help that's actually specific to your area, that's exactly why we built the Next Level Gardening community. You can post your zone, what you're dealing with, and get feedback from a bunch of really experienced gardeners right there in your area. I'll link it down below. All right, let's start with the hardest one, hot and humid. This is where tomatoes humble people. This is where you get early blight, leaf spot, fungus. Plants look amazing in May, and then they're dead in July. So down in the South, heirlooms can be drama queens. Not always, but hybrids were literally developed for this. Rule number 1 in humidity, disease resistance wins. Airflow wins. For slicers, you want celebrity or better boy. These are boring tomatoes. And guess what? Boring tomatoes win. They just keep going in the humidity. For paste tomatoes, Punta Banda or another disease-resistant paste. So people were asking, you know, what about paste and sauce tomatoes? This is where you want toughness, not romance from the Mediterranean that does not match your climate at all. For cherry tomatoes, Mountain Magic or Sweet Million are great choices. Cherry tomatoes set fruit when slicers quit. They're just reliable. And the bonus pick I chose from the comments on the last video. The pick there, it was very loud. It was chocolate cherry. They said it produced through brutal heat even when everything struggled. Two things matter more than variety down in the South. Prune for airflow, stop letting it become a jungle. I have a great video I'll link in the description that shows the best way to prune and trellis tomatoes, especially for humid climates. You want to add mulch also and water consistently, and that keeps the plants a little more stress-free so they can cope with a lot of the issues that can be thrown at them in the South. There's also the aspirin trick, which I've heard from so many of you in the South that one tip was a game changer. I'll link that video below as well. And if your summers are long, you might actually be a two-season tomato grower, a spring crop and a fall crop. That's how people beat the Deep South. All right, hot and dry. Sounds easier until you realize tomatoes can literally cook on the vine. This is where you get sun scald and cracking and blossom end rot, plants that survive but don't produce well in peak heat. The rule here is consistent moisture, sun protection, and crack-resistant varieties. For slicers, early girl. Early girl is common for a reason. It gets going fast and produces before the worst heat. For paste tomatoes, here we can bring in the Mediterranean ones. San Marzano is a great one if you can keep the water steady, or there's a tougher paste called Opalka. Just remember that paste tomatoes are heavy drinkers. Do not let them dry out. For cherry tomatoes, Sun Gold or Sweet 100. The comment section was basically a Sun Gold fan club. And I get it, it's my favorite cherry also. People everywhere say the same thing. It just produces. A great bonus tomato here in the hot and dry bucket is Eva Purple Ball. Crack resistant, drought tolerant, and dependable. And let me say this clearly, if you're getting over 100 degrees Fahrenheit for any length of time, shade cloth is not extra. It's the difference between fruit and no fruit. Even afternoon shade helps. A bunch of commenters said that that was the turning point for them, some shade. Now this is a bucket I had to add because this is the silent killer now. Hot nights. If your tomato looks healthy, it flowers and then nothing sets, and it stays hot where you live all night, that's usually pollen sterility. Tomatoes like a cool down in the evening and throughout the night. So the rule here is small fruit sets better. Heat set varieties also matter. So for slicers, look for heat set varieties, and if you can find tropic, that is a classic hot climate tomato. For paste tomatoes, Tachi gets mentioned a lot for heat and toughness. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And for cherries, guess what? Sun Gold and Sweet 100 again. Also chocolate cherry. Cherries don't seem to care what the temperature is like, what the watering is like, what the location is like. And a really interesting bonus here is Everglades tomato. People in Florida mentioned it, which probably means it also handles the humidity. It's a tiny fruit, but insanely resilient. That was a quote. A few fixes for hot nights: shade cloth during peak heat, morning watering and consistency, and don't grow them near a south-facing wall that's going to soak up heat throughout the day and then dispense it at night. They don't want that. And then you're just going to have to accept that big beefsteak tomatoes may not set midsummer. A lot of hot night growers do spring beefsteaks, summer cherries, and fall slicers. That's the system. All right, quick pause if you're overwhelmed. If you just want 3 tomatoes that work almost anywhere, then here you go. Sun Gold, cherry insurance policy. Celebrity, which is a boring workhorse slicer, but boring is best sometimes. And a paste tomato you actually like. Amish paste or San Marzano, whatever fits your climate. Amish paste is going to be for more northerners, San Marzano for more southerners. If you grow those 3, you will get tomatoes. All right, back to it. Short season gardeners, you're on a time clock. If you wait too long, the summer's gone. The rule here is early maturity and a head start. For slicers, 4th of July or early girl. Fast tomatoes win up north. For paste tomatoes, short season paste types like Sheboygan would work well for you. Commenters mentioned that this was a very hardy canning tomato. For cherries, Sweet 100 or Sun Gold. Cherries ripen faster and they keep going. And a great bonus is Moscovich or any other cold tolerant heirloom. Usually when you're looking for cold tolerant heirlooms, you're gonna look for names that sound like cold places. Anything Russian, Siberian, glacier is another good one. And the short season truth is simple. Start earlier than feels comfortable. Use row covers, wall o' waters, greenhouses. That's not cheating, that's just survival. All right, Pacific Northwest, I'm looking at you. Also coastal California, especially northern. You get foggy summers, right? Your gardening tomatoes they're hard. You don't get those big hot stretches. The rule here is cool tolerance and ripening without heat. For slicers, Siletz is developed for cooler coastal areas. For paste tomatoes, start early and maximize the sun. Put them on that south wall if you can. Paste can be tougher here, so you might go with a variety that is a hybrid that is made for these conditions, but you're gonna have a tough time. I was never able to grow a paste tomato successfully when we lived near the coast. For cherries, sun gold again, or pretty much anything in this zone will work. People kept mentioning in the comments green Dr. cherry. I've never grown it, but you know, you got to listen to the people who live where you live and what they can grow. A fun bonus is San Francisco fog. I mean, it's baked right there into the name. Container gardeners, you're not left out. Containers, they warm up faster, and honestly, a lot of people grow better tomatoes in pots. The rule here is compact plants and consistent watering. Patio determinants like Tiny Tim work well. Dwarf tomato project varieties, Sun Gold works really well. I had it in a big pot here last year, and I didn't even realize that the watering was a bit off, and the tube was kind of crimped. The plant itself didn't look great, but it kept producing all summer long. Just don't let your containers go dry, and you're gonna have a great time growing almost any tomato in a container as long as it is a compact variety. All right, quick recap. Hot and humid, you want disease-resistant workhorses. Hot and dry, shade cloth, and crack resistance. If you have hot nights, small fruit, and heat set types. If you're in a short season, you want early producers and you want to start them indoors early. If you're on the cool coast, you want ones that ripen in cool weather. And containers, compact, and consistent watering. Comment below where you live and what tomatoes crush it for you, because the comment section on this topic always becomes the best tomato base on the internet. Tomato base? Comment section on this topic always becomes the best tomato debate. The comment section on this topic always becomes the best tomato database on the internet. And next week, we're starting tomato seeds together, step by step, so you'll get thick, healthy, robust plants. So make sure you're subscribed and click this video right here so you know exactly what you need to be ready. I'll see you then.